Alright, g'day. Welcome to Angus Barrett Saddlery. I'm Angus Barrett and we're talking about serving hobbles today. Kirsty's brought the camera out and brand new set of serving hobbles here. I'll give you a quick rundown. We got a couple of horses here to put them on just to show you. I don't have any broodmares. Well, I do have a broodmare, but the Palomino over there, she's molting, so I put her back. Everything was getting covered in white hair. So we're going to go with another mare, the younger horse. So there's three parts to it. The strap that goes over the neck. It's got a leather sewn onto it, double stitched. So I do some pretty funky stuff with my double stitching. So 2 rows of stitching, and then we also do a double lock there and a double lock there and a double lock there. And that's so that the holes don't tear. Like webbing tears. Webbing's not really ideal for putting holes in, but it's definitely good for tensile strength, lineal strength. So the leather's there to stop the holes tearing. Then we have a buckle here, a heavy stainless steel buckle. It's homemade, this one, because it's got a 7mm pin, so it doesn't bend, and it also has a solid roller, so the roller doesn't split. So we cut it, put the roller on, then weld it back together, TIG it back up. Stainless steel. And that's important because that's actually your release. And if something goes pear-shaped with one of these horses here today, which I don't expect it to, unless I put it on hip, and the horse falls over on its side, or ends up on its side, that's where that's the bit that you let go. That's the quick release. You rely on that. You might stand on it and pull it. That's your safety point. If you use a rubbish buckle there, that jams, and then you can't get it undone. And then we have 2 bits of rope, which it's actually 1 bit of rope, so it can't be broken because it's not tied there. It's only tied here. It's 1 bit of rope, and it's on another big heavy stainless steel D. It's like 8 or 10 mil. That's super heavy. You can expect these to bend, but you can expect them not to break, let you down. But they do get pulled out of line if they need to. And then we got heavy harness leather here, and this is the cuff. I make them like this, so you actually have to put the horse's hoof into it, purely because it's stronger and more secure. With our other hobbles, they're quick release, and they just go on and on through a D. I don't use that setup here because they're not as strong as these, and it's a much different kick. A mare trying to kick a stallion when it doesn't want to get joined is a much different kick to when, like, if you're using a set of hobbles in the round yard and something kicks out or something's kicking the side of the float. Like when a mare really goes for a big double barrel, and a big brood mare, like a big heavy horse. I haven't really got any here other than that heavy quarter horse, but I don't think she'd bother kicking anyone. Kids horse. So that's why that is, right? So you do have to pick your horse's hoof up to get in there. I've never had this horse in these hobbles, so we'll go through it now. Oh yeah, we've got 1 more buckle, sorry folks. This is, another big heavy D here. This is a pretty cool D, this one. You can expect this one not to bend. Definitely expect it not to break. If it does bend, it won't matter because it's only changing the shape. And then this here, this is actually the feature buckle. It's got an AB on it, clearly homemade, which is right here in Australia, folks, down under. And this is the slide buckle. They call it a quick release buckle, but it's definitely far from quick release. The only thing it's a quick locking buckle. And what it does is you pull it like this, and then when it pulls back, it locks. And that little plate jams in there. So when the pressure's on, I'll show you when you get on it, you can slide it up. But if the pressure comes back on it, it locks. Right, it's the same as their collar strap. And we did have a really good video here of the collar strap, which was pretty cool, but it didn't work out, so it got whipped off. That's made to lock, but it's not a release. Right, if you've got to release it, it's a bit fidgety, and it's not the right place to release it. If you've got to get it off quickly, that's where you undo it and the whole thing just drops away. Alright, so we'll go and put this on Zena. She's got a few spectators here, right? So you got your rope would be in. I'll put it on now. There's no left or right. There is an inside and outside, but it does not matter. Okay, and then here's my collar. You can either slide it over the head if you want, or you can put it under here. Everything's made to work on the near side on this. So this is quite a small horse, very small horse, or a fine horse. So that's in the smallest hole, folks. And that's quite tight. That's sitting right on her chest. You could probably drop that down a little bit there. Right. Now, if you're going to serve, say we were serving here today, and I was actually using these hobbles fair dinkum, might have a stallion standing over there or something, and I'd be in the centre of the round yard like this, and I'm going to hand serve this mare, or in a yard, and I'd come out here and I'd put my hobbles on my horse first, right? Get her comfortable in what we're doing here, right? So that's on the chest, so I can pull that back. Ooh, man. I can see that this is already a bit tight, right? So I'm going to let this ride out here, right? But I'm going to have it still in the bracket, right? Like that. Ooh, man. Ooh, man. Ooh, man. Right. Now I'll just pick this up. Come here. Yeah, ooh. Alright. And I'll slide that on there. Now if you've got a horse that doesn't want its foot to be picked up, after you use these serving hobbles, you should be able to pick your horse's feet up. And if you've got another mare, okay, so we'll do the other side, and it's not your mare, and you really couldn't be bothered training it and teaching it how to pick a two fob. So I've got one leg, let's pretend this other leg over here is not really going to be a goer. Right, I've really got to get this horse served. I'm using the hobbles because I'm protecting myself, because I've got a mad horse here. It's Rankaz, big fat mare, good bloodlines. That's where we're breeding from, evidently. Well, that's my story. I'm making it up. And then, but I can't get the back legs of this thing in there. I don't want to go anywhere near it, or you got someone doing it. Here's another way of doing it, right? So you can put that there, and we can just step that horse's foot in there. Might be a bit tricky. Oh me. Right. So we got her in there now, and this is you get a bit of a rodeo for sure with a kicking horse. Best thing to do. Right. If she was a kicking horse, she'd be kicking already, in which case I'd go and get the collar strap and take the kick out of her. And then I'd bring her back here. Right, so now I've got my things on, my feet, hooves on, whatever you want to call them, the fetlock straps around the pastern of the horse. Okay, I've got my mare standing here. I've got my holder on. I've got my collar where I want it. Okay, now say I want to tighten that up, or I want to move this horse, I can leave these loose here and let this horse know that she can move a little bit. See, right. You see how they work there, folks? So your horse can move, your horse can walk. My loop's a bit long there, obviously. Right, so you want to be a bit careful of that. Yep. Right, there you go. Bit better length. They're obviously not made to walk your horse around in. You don't want to go anywhere now. Right, but I can change her, or she can move a little bit. Alright, you got to watch, you don't want legs getting crossed over one another. But then, like, we're using these because we've got a stallion that we want to look after. There's your asset, your mare's your asset too, but you're trying to look after both. And we're trying to look after anyone else, and we're trying to prevent the mare from kicking the stallion. So if you've got a mare that needs hobbles on because it kicks out a lot, or something, that's where you would use it, or you might want to put it on as a safety precaution. If you're a stallion, you've got outside mares, you don't know anything about it. Okay, so that's got a bit of a load on there now, and I can rock this mare back. Oops. Yeah, right, and I can get her into a good position here, where I'd want her. Like that there, and then now, right, so say we're about to bring the stallion and it's all going to get a bit hot and a bit heated and get a little bit more action here, and this mare starts carrying on a little bit and I really want to pull her up. What you do is you sort of take that lead rope like this, and you take this here, and this is where you use the buckle, and you just lean on your horse and pull that up a bit. Pull me, pull me. Right, so now I've got a fair bit of pressure on those padlock straps. And I've just been able to rock back on that chest, and that's why we put that leather patch there, and you can see where that's sitting on the chest there now. That's actually really quite tight. Okay, so I want to release it. Okay, and I've got a quiet mare. We can all see that. You can see all that Kirsten. Yep. I'm guessing everyone demonstrating serving hobbles on a horse. Horse's legs are pulled forward a little bit. I want to release it. Right, I want to let a bit out. Right, once again I put my shoulder down here and I just pull on that strap and I put my fingers at the bottom of that there. Right, and that pushes that up, the back plate up. Right, and then I'll do it again. Right, that'll grab. Right, so that's grabbed, locked on there. I can get tighter again, and if you want to go tight, I'd rock the horse back again. Push back on it with my shoulder, there you go. So I've really jammed a bit of pressure in there just to show you how this releases. I want to release it, and I get in here, I pull this here, which takes the load off, and then that plate just comes up like that with those fingers. Right, and every time it goes back on there, it locks. So tighter, right, and then I just take the load off so that I can get that to come forward, and then there's not really anywhere you can get your finger jammed. Right? If you put your finger in there, you could well and truly get it jammed. That would make a mess. But that's how it works. They're pretty cool buckles, I think. You can get them really, really tight. You can put a lot of pressure on it. You can put more pressure on it than anywhere else. And then you can see the way that it's down on the pastern here, where the load is. There's a little extra wear patch of leather in here. Right, this is the detail. This is the stuff that we do here to make our stuff strong and fair income, you know. Like if you're serving a mare, it's the real deal. You're in the action station, you know. You're a pretty handy horseman already by the time you've decided to go and get yourself a stallion and a couple of mares, and you're going to start breeding. If you're not a good horseman, you're going to be one pretty soon. All right, folks. I think that's all I can tell you about the serving hobbles. Everyone's got their different way of serving mares. They might suit a stallion or two that need standing up. All right, have a great day, folks. Stay cool.